What up, everybody? It's Rob the Melgun. I'm back at you with another video. It's been a while. I do apologize. I've just been busy doing different things. Also, over the past weeks, I've accumulated some new releases, so I thought I'd kind of wait till I make another video instead of just make a video talk about one release or something. So that's why there's been a little bit of delay. Also, other things have been going on actually related to the channel I'm going to get to later on in the video, talking about a band that I actually recently interviewed and give a little more details on that and kind of dive into. It was really exciting actually to do that. I hadn't interviewed a band in a while, and actually this is a video interview that I'm working with this band on. We had done it at their practice area, and it was really an opportunity that I'm glad I had the chance to do. And actually, an artist I had known one of the members for a long time. He's finally been able to put together this band and do some more with it, which I'm really excited. And the other member I talked to, he's like a really cool, down to earth dude. So it's just been doing a lot of different things. Also, yesterday, my friend Uraj and I, if you've checked out the channel before, here Uraj Master Singh, he's been on videos. I've done podcasts with him. He used to listen to my radio show like every week in college, call in, request songs. Known the guy since high school. We actually yesterday went to San Jose. I took him down there. He wanted to go to Rasputin's in Campbell, so I said, sure, why not? We'll do the venture, and picked up a new CD yesterday myself. He also picked something up, so yeah, that was fun going down to the South Bay, and I've just had a lot going on. So that's why, again, if you're going, why the hell have you been gone for so long, Rob? And I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm trying to do regular content with this channel, but again, I'm not making money off this. I do this for the fun, talking about the music. So I try to get to a video when I can. But I thought now's the time. I've accumulated some new releases I like to talk about, and to begin, let me go with the CD I just bought from Hell's Headbangers. A CD that I've been wanting to get for a long time, a physical release of this album because I love it. One of my favorite extreme metal releases of all time. An album that if you're a fan of grindcore, gore grind, brutal death metal, you better be checking this out. From the band Impetigo, this is, I apologize for the glare, we'll try to get a good photo of that. This is Horror of the Zombies, is the album title. This is the second full-length release from Impetigo. I like the first one. It's all right. Was that Ultimo Multiple? I even get the name mixed up. It's like Ultimo Mondo Cannibal. It's all right. No offense. It's a decent release. I actually really like the demo they put out before. They called We All Need Cheese. You can check it on YouTube. Now that's a release I would love to get like a vinyl of, or somehow, somebody, Hell's Headbangers, give it an idea. If you can get that somehow, work with Impetigo to get We All Need Cheese, the live show demo. I think that was like 87 that came out. I've listened to some of it on YouTube. I don't know where you can actually buy a physical copy of that. If you could put that on vinyl, get that together, get some photos. Hell's Headbangers, come on. Or actually, Vic Records was the one that put this release out, but Hell's Headbangers is the distribution site that I bought it from. Bought a lot of stuff from Hell's Headbangers. Previous videos, if you checked out this channel, which I would hope you have, and if you haven't, please keep watching, like and subscribe. But if you go back, I have talked about my releases I've purchased from Hell's Headbangers. They do a great job when it comes to distribution, a plethora of different styles of music, extreme metal, punk, dungeon synth, I mean, you name it. But when it comes to the death metal, the black metal, the stuff that's very hard to get a hold of, releases that you never thought would be re-released or even put on vinyl, right? Stuff that's been out of print, Hell's Headbangers has you covered. And from Vic Records, they had this CD, and I was excited because I've always wanted to get this on physical. I've had the digital from iTunes for years, right? Listening to this album, I bought it so I could listen to it in the car when I'm walking. The songs on here are just killer. And I love the fact, too, the band uses the audio tracks from horror movies, from interviews with serial killers, and it actually fits. There's something about when they do it and then they dive into the song. I've always said this release to me is one of the most well put together extreme metal gore grind releases out there. Sorry to say it, but if you're a fan of, I know a lot of people love Mortician because nothing's heavier than the Tish, right? That's what J-Dog always says. But in my opinion, I just feel Impetigo does it way better. It's just my personal opinion when it comes to the brutal death metal, horror movies, gore themed metal. I've always felt that this release, especially, is the epitome. It is the pinnacle from top to bottom. I mean, you got songs like I Work for the Street Cleaner. I love that. The intro to that is just iconic. And then Wizard of Gore, that movie, if you haven't seen it, it's an interesting B horror film. But the song Wizard of Gore itself, just such a thick, heavy, simple riff. And then the bass line in the song always stands out. Another one that I really like is Trap Them and Kill Them. That one, they even don't have an audio clip. They just dive into a brutal sounding, riff. Love it. And then Defiling the Grave. It's like Geraldo Rivera is interviewing this drifter killer guy who came out. I think he was caught, he said he was washing bones in an apartment, right? He was like, oh, I didn't kill or chop up the body, I just was washing the bones. And Geraldo Rivera's like, for 10 days you let the corpse of your girlfriend rot in your apartment and you didn't call the police? And the guy, he's kind of like, well, see, yeah, I was frightened of going to jail. See, I never been around like anything like that before. And the conversation is just so outlandish, right? Because this guy, you're just thinking like, oh my God, what the hell? It's so surreal. And Geraldo, right? You're Geraldo Rivera, hearing him, trying to, quiz this guy on how could you let this go on? And then they dive right into that riff, right? It just stands out. Defiling the Grave is probably one of my favorite Impetigo songs. But then at the end of the day, my favorite has to be Staff Terrorist. I love the riff in that. Very catchy, fun to play along to, too. One of my favorite riffs to play. So this album, thank you, Hell's Headbangers, because I had tried to buy this before, because Hell's Headbangers had it up on the CD like a few months back, and I had tried to purchase it, and I actually was able to go through the process, and then when my order came, I only had one CD. I had ordered two. Actually, I think I ordered Woods of Desolation, Torn Beyond Reason or something as well. And I was like, what the heck, where's the Impetigo? So I reached out and they apologized, saying, we're really sorry. Yeah, that album had actually sold out before we didn't update the website, but we're hoping to get more shipments in. Keep an eye. Sure enough, I saw that they had a new stock of these in, and I right away bought it. I know they had a vinyl release as well. Unfortunately, at that time, I hadn't really been buying a lot from Hell's Headbangers. I actually hadn't been paying attention for some reason, and that kind of got past me, which pissed me off, because I would have loved to purchase this on vinyl. I will still buy if I see that Hell's Headbangers or any distribution site, but I like to buy from Hell's Headbangers. I like supporting them. If they're able to somehow get somebody, puts out and Hell's Headbangers does the distribution, I will also buy a copy of this album on vinyl, because it's one of those releases I just love. I like to own it. Vinyl, CD. There are a few albums that actually make me want to do that, right? They actually inspire me. Impetigo, Horde of the Zombies, without a question, album that, yes, I have it on CD, but if I have the chance to get it on vinyl, I'm going to do it. So just throwing it out there. If someone from Hell's Headbangers or knows the people at Hell's Headbangers, let them know. Hey, if you can make it work, get Impetigo, Horde of the Zombies also on vinyl somehow. I don't know, Vic Records might be the one that can do it and then give it to Hell's to do the distribution. We'll see. That would be awesome. But anyone, I just love to see this album get more exposure too in the world of extreme music, because if you want to talk about just how you put everything together, production, taking your time, it doesn't have to be over the top too. I love what Impetigo, in my opinion, simple, catchy, memorable, downright brutal. And the audio clips, like I said, I like how they do it. Yeah, Mortician does it as well. And Chainsaw Dismemberment, I like. Hacked Up for Barbecue, good releases in their own right in terms of grindcore, brutal death metal. But I've always just felt how I view extreme music, Impetigo, this album especially, just did it all for me. It's one of my favorite releases. I will keep rooting for it till the end, telling people about it, because I really do enjoy it very much. So here you go, Impetigo, Horde of the Zombies. Check it out if you haven't. All right, and then before I get to what I bought yesterday at the Rasputin's and Campbell, this came in. I had ordered this actually a week back. This is Rikk Agnew's solo album. This is called All By Myself. Really cool release. If you are familiar with Rikk Agnew, or if you're not familiar, Rikk Agnew played in a punk band called the Adolescents, the iconic Blue album for people that are into punk. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. The Adolescents, very influential punk band from the Fullerton area there in the late 70s, early 80s. I mean, so many bands have stolen from their sound, I've always felt. And Rikk Agnew is a guitarist. He's one of my favorites. He also plays on another album, and he played in a band that I'm a huge fan of. I've talked about it on the channel before. I have my collection over there. Christian Death and Only Theater of Pain. One of my favorite albums. Just top, 10 possibly favorite albums of all time, man. It's such a good, and his guitar playing is so unique, so dynamic. He comes up with such creative riffs. You could also hear a little bit of surf rock influence, but on that album especially, going with the darker tone, coming up with these really haunting kind of chord progressions. On this though, he's going for the straight old school punk, surf rock sound. Songs like OC Life, got a little bit of a post-punk sound on it as well. I like the song 10 probably is my favorite. And then Every Day, that reminds me of just like good hard rock, right? Something you'd hear from like the 70s, surf, hard rock. And then the other song I like on this, Falling Out, very catchy, simple chords, but there's just something about it. It has that really cool sound. His leads too, right? They just stand out, right? He always knows what to play at the right time. To me, Rikk Agnew is just such a very solid guitarist all around. His riffs, his leads, everything fit. And as a songwriter on this, it just goes to show how underrated he really is. Like, people don't, I think, give him the credit sometimes that he deserves, because you look at the work he's done with the Adolescents. He also played with his brother Frank in that band. They came up with some very iconic riffs in the world of punk. And then you look at the Christian Death, material he worked on, stands the test of time. And then when I've listened to this, I'm just blown away by his playing and just how well he puts it all together, his songwriting. And a couple of these songs are in a band he played, I believe, a little later in the 80s called D.I., because I believe OC Life was on their first full-length album called Ancient Artifacts that I would recommend checking out. It's a good release. I've listened to some of it. I actually like I like this version better, just in my personal opinion. Also, Falling Out. It's not bad, the D.I. version, but I really like this release. And shout out to Frontier Records, the label that put out these releases. Adolescents, Christian Death, that whole Fullerton scene out there back in the day. And I like you get the lyric sheet here if you want to check it out. You get some artwork. Looks like Rick just got out of bed and he's like, what the hell's going on outside? Kind of how I feel right now in the world with everything going on. You look out the window and you go, what the hell's going on outside? It's crazy times we're living in, people. Crazy times. And that's what I think is really cool, the lyric sheet with the artwork. And I like it, because that's also the same with other Frontier Records releases, like Christian Death, Only Theater of Pain. I love the lyric sheets that you get in there. The packaging's awesome, the whole presentation. So shout out to the label, Frontier. So here you go. This is a clear vinyl. And I know there are other colors, but I just said I'll get the clear. I think they were sold out, but it didn't bother me. I just wanted to get this on vinyl. Really like the music, so that's what I'm going for. I know they have like some other special colors, but it's all good to me. I know my Christian Death is a special color. Same with my Adolescents Blue album. I have them there, my collection. Actually, I believe I showed the Adolescents record when I did a vinyl update in the back. So check it out. Previous video, I talk about it, what I liked, songs. But no, if you haven't, hey, here's a good recommendation if you're into punk, classic sounding, punk music. Rikk Agnew, All By Myself. All right, yesterday, because I had bought from Rasputin's and Campbell before Siouxsie and the Banshees' first album, The Scream. So I said, I'll go pick up Kaleidoscope. What a release. Love this from Siouxsie and the Banshees. The album cover, too. Really cool album cover. And Siouxsie just looking like a badass. She's awesome. If you're not familiar with Siouxsie and the Banshees, come on, people. Even if you're like, I'm some brutal hardcore death metal guy, damn it, shut up. Check out Siouxsie. Great singer, great songwriter. The musicians in her band, John McGahick. This is the first album to feature some of his guitar work. And I will tell you, John's guitar playing, highly influential, unique. He also used 12-string guitars, and if you've seen my past video, I have a 12-string guitar, the Wayne Hussey signature model. The Mission, right? Wayne Hussey from that. The Sisters of Mercy, he used it. And the sounds that he was able to come up with, right? Doing the 12-string and also come up with some unique 6-string chord progressions. Guy was just all over the map when it came to coming up with very unique sounding riffs. And Happy House is proof of that. The first song on this album that a lot of people are familiar with Siouxsie and the Banshees, Happy House, is a truly classic song. Love it. Siouxsie's vocals. Christine is also a really good song on this. I believe the bassist, Steve Severin, wrote that. I like that track as well. Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols actually provides like lead guitar on, I think, 3 tracks. I saw that in the liner notes, which is interesting. So, and there was a connection. Siouxsie was part of that early punk scene. You know, she was friends with the Sex Pistols. And that's, you know, something I, you know, did notice as well when I saw his name pop up on here. I was like, oh, Steve Jones, huh? But John McGeoch, this is the first release to see him. And the drummer Budgie, this is his first release to be on, and he's been with the band for so many years. And just really good releases. And also about this, you get Israel, the 7-inch single as well, because this is the remastered and expanded. You got demo tracks. But Israel is probably one of, that's because I love so many different songs from Siouxsie. It's hard to say, but Israel is such a mesmerizing piece of music. Always loved it. Ever since high school, I would listen to it. The drumming, the bass playing when it comes in, it's hypnotic. It grabs you. And then John McGeoch, the chords, the way they ring out, the guitar effects he uses on that song, and then Siouxsie's vocal performance. It just captivates you. So, got this yesterday. Didn't have any crazy experiences. Nothing out of the ordinary. We went to the Japanese market after. Yeah, San Jose is an interesting place as always. You know, I've had some interesting experiences. We went to the mall, the Westfield, and God, that place is busier than crap. And all those Tesla cyber trucks driving around. The parking spaces are so dang small, and when you're going through there, you got a cyber truck coming at you, you feel you're going to get smashed into. So I don't get them. They look ugly as hell, too. I mean, Jesus. They look like something from like a 90s video game. Stupid. Don't understand the cyber trucks. I'll never forget. I think my friend was telling me actually yesterday, there's been so many issues, but one of them he reminded me of, I guess some guy was trying to test this where when you shut the trunk or something that, well, it has the sensor so it won't close if your hand's there. Well, sure enough, the guy did it, sensor didn't work, damaged his hand. So, I mean, idiots. I just wouldn't get them. If I had a lot of money, I would not waste it on a Cybertruck. Sorry, just no can do. But anyway, yeah, that was yesterday. As I said, don't have any interesting stories. Usually I do. I feel like I'm cheating you people. But no, sometimes, you know, just go to the South Bay and nothing crazy happens. The people are Rasputins, customers, everyone was well behaved. Maybe they knew I was coming and they didn't want to have another video, because if you check one of my previous videos where I went to Rasputins and some girl was doing a photo shoot in the metal section, and I don't want to get into how she was dressed. Luckily, she was somewhat dressed, but still. No, yesterday everyone was well behaved, so we'll leave it at that. But anyway, yeah, as you see, I'm wearing this shirt. This is the band Ethos. Interviewed a couple of the members, and Ethos, I'd known one of the members for like going on, gosh, close to 8 years, 7 years. I actually interviewed him for the blog if you want to check it out. Interviewed Channeler is how he uses that's his name, stage name, Channeler. But it was a really cool interview. Hopefully we're going to put that out closer to when I believe they're going to release some new music. I actually got to listen to one of the tracks. Really good black metal. Got a little variety in there. Dynamic, the sound. The drumming blew me away. I really liked it, and just everything about it. I was impressed. I'm looking forward to what they have as a full-length release or something. So, but he was nice as a thank you. He gave me the shirt, and then a couple of releases of other bands he's in. So I give a shout out. This is a band called Spectre. This release Omen. If you're interested, check them out. Technical death metal. Very much in the vein of like 90s death metal. Reminds me of even like Death, Pestilence, you know, a lot of tech death. You know, you could hear some influence from bands like Nile a little bit, Finnish death metal. But I really like this release. And I actually reviewed this, I believe, for the blog. So if you want to see my thoughts on it in detail. And then this is the Enshrouded demo. I actually saw Enshrouded play in Castro Valley at an auto shop. They put on a great set. So, and I saw Spectre. It was Spectre, Enshrouded, Sepsis, death metal band from Santa Cruz, and then Mephitis, whatever, that band. No offense, they were just okay. I mean, no offense. There was something going on with their sound, or I forgot they couldn't get their backing tracks working, so it was just taking too long. So I kind of dipped out halfway through their set because it was getting late, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry, guys, gotta speed it up. But no, this Enshrouded demo is really good. I really like Enshrouded. I hope they do more music. They're a talented death metal band, very much in the Swedish, Finnish death metal, just that brutal, like, pertinence, just hits you hard. Watch out, I don't want to break it. I don't want to use my forceful powers. But anyway, that's the video. I hope you guys, gals, everyone out there, whatever you are, you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Watch my past videos. I got interviews on the channel as well. You can check them out. Hear me mispronouncing people's names or making a goof of myself when I was in college and talking to certain artists. Good times, good times. And I'm hoping to do more. I definitely, interviewing the two members from Ethos allowed me to kind of remind myself, hey, I always like talking music with people, hearing new music, sharing ideas, introducing people to new music, right? One of the members, he was interested. I would tell him about artists and he would actually look it up, which is so cool. So definitely, you know, I'm thinking, hey man, in the future here, I'm going to try, you know, make some time, add some content to the channel, right? So I don't have to, you know, wait a while here maybe. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. Everybody, this is Rod the Metal Guy signing off. Later.